Hello, everybody. What's up? My name is Gally,
Night night.
and welcome back to
The Great Ace Eternity. Do 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 do. Wah. I don't. Hi, how are
You
you?
never had a theme song for this one.
I know, but I was busy staring at the curly foot shoe.
Okay.
And
The father's loafers.
father's love. What?
I don't know. It just looks like a
The one by the mirror.
the evil elf shoe. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about the one next to the gavel.
No, that's just a loafer. Actually, it's not quite a loafer, but you know, it's just a old man shoe. Now, let's see if I remember this.
You just listened
I
to
know,
the clip.
but I still feel like I'm gonna fuck up.
The Southern Belle kind of thing.
I know. Oh, silly me, I haven't introduced myself yet, have I?
You Persea looking motherfucker.
To say I was a bitch, I am not. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Watson. I've lived here together with Shirley.
Iris, is it? What a lovely name.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait, this can't be. Did you say your name is Watson?
What's the matter with Susette? She's so flustered all of a sudden.
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh, I am Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Why was there a roll on that? Normally I could do that fine in that moment. There we go. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely Susie and Runo. Got it.
We don't talk about
Oh,
Runo.
no. Susie?
And Runo? There's more to this girl
She's
than
a
meets
trans
the
woman?
Romance in the skies. I have so many questions for her. I don't even know where to start.
Yes. And so do I.
And with Chip in the background there.
Chip?
Chip.
Oh, the teacup. I was thinking Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
No, this is clearly Gadget.
I know, but I was trying to figure out where a chipmunk was in the background.
The answer is nowhere.
But I wish it was somewhere. I'll talk to her first.
It was you that we ran into yesterday, right? At the Old Bailey?
Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much.
She does have a southern
Yeah.
kind of speech.
I think it just came automatically while reading her. Oh, no, not at all. I'm so sorry. I couldn't have been more welcoming.
Speech? The word is welcome. The word I'm looking for is dialect, and I just stabbed myself between the eyes.
At least it wasn't in the eyes.
Though, at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us.
Also, speech works too. Because dialect just means fancy word for speech. Or, well, the type of speech. Like this? Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade and Toad, didn't you?
Yeah, that awkward witness. Gina Lestrade.
Lestrade. Oh, Jeannie? Yeah, she's a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pitch my invention like that.
Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly! So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
Go, Gadget, self-destruct!
See, I was thinking, what, you related to Doofenshmirtz?
Shut the fuck up, Benita! This girl is Let's Get Dangerous. How many more references can I fit in 2 seconds?
Yes. Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician.
Your technician?
Surely, of course, silly. Shirley?
And don't
Yes.
call me Shirley.
Have you even ever seen that movie?
No.
You should. It's a good movie. I used to watch it with my dad all the time. He really liked parody movies back in, like, from that age. Yes, Sherlock Holmes. We lived together.
I had no idea he was a Helmrock king from Wind Waker.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter.
How was he that?
I read Herlock and I'm like, Helmrock.
Yeah, because I'm like, that doesn't have a daughter.
Well, no, we killed it before it had the chance.
Exactly.
With its ugly turkey face.
It's premeditated neutering. Daughter not likely.
What?
I wouldn't call him Shirley if he was my father, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Holmes? Well, I expect you found out about the lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate.
Your roommates. And they were roommates.
Please don't, that's a child. Sorry.
That's not how I meant that. But it is weird as fuck.
Well, do you want to go into historical
Nope.
stuff? Okay. I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10, at last this year.
Oh. What of your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around. Okay, I am going to go into historical thing.
They're
And then-
dead, Jim.
In this time period, a child of her age that had no parents would have been sent to a workhouse if they had no one to take care of them. Which in turn, because she's a lady, would have just trained her to be a maid.
I know.
And that would just be her future.
Didn't we watch that Casual Criminalist that went on about the
Probably.
son who went to the workhouse?
Yeah, but like, like boys were taught how to like maybe be a carpenter or something. But all girls were like, "Yep, here, maid."
Katie.
Let's just say it was a horrible, horrible place to be.
Well, yeah.
They called it charity. It was more of like, here's how to be a slave for the rest of your life.
Wasn't his most recent one, but close to his most recent
Yeah.
time at the time of this recording.
But yeah, pretty much workhouses were horrible places where we were treated pretty much as inferior beings because you don't happen to have parents anymore.
I would.
Also, there are some people who went to workhouses who were old enough to be like, they were adults, but they did it because like, oh, my husband died and he was the only one making money and stuff like that. So yeah.
Bitch, gotta get more money. Money!
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I see. Wonder what the story is there. None your business. Watson.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course, of course. Go ahead, Susie. I forgot an accent there. I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and oh, you have a copy of
Rants.
yeah, I know. It's the accent I lost.
Oh no!
You have a copy of Rance magazine. Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world.
My stories?
That's right. Shirley's always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Also, do you realize she's doing the thing Sherlock does?
Yeah. You know what I also just noticed?
What?
She's fucking Chibi Moon.
No, she was way more of a brat.
At least in the 90s rendition.
Or at least in the English 90s rendition.
Yeah.
I don't know how she acted in the Japanese OG.
Soy Sight was a dude.
I know, they were all dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fucking...
And they were not cousins. I'm referring to Saturn and...
See,
not Saturn, Uranus and Neptune.
Yeah, here's the thing about those two. I never thought they were cousins.
Yeah. That's how we get messed up Folgers commercials.
No, but like literally, I saw them as a kid, and I originally thought the one was a guy, and they just happened to wear a skirt. And then I found out it was actually just a girl who happened to wear guys' clothes. Either way, it was fine.
Is a croissant?
You remember my oldest brother used to wear mini skirts.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a big deal. Goodness. Last night he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steam trip traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up a manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author? Yes, I'll tell you on, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call the latest adventure The Speckled Band.
The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there, like the fact it's not set on a steamship. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake that would be cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Holmes's first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course, I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it is a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you?
That looks even weirder.
What?
License. That should be an S.
No, it shouldn't.
Or is it the first one that's supposed to be an S?
No. That looks right to me.
Yeah, it's the second C is supposed to be an S.
No, it looks better with the C. Why would it be an S? Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is a license or a license, like the S or the C in Canada? In Canada, the correct spelling is license with a C when used as a noun and license with an S when used as a verb.
Oh, that's just fucking confusing.
Noun, Jenny got her driver's license. C. Verb, the council has licensed our cafe.
That's
S.
fucking
And in the US, the one with the S is used for both. But that's why I think the C looks better, because one thing we've learned about our spelling education, mine leans a little more the UK way, which is how most of Canada is supposed to work. If you go into the like proper spelling, whereas your leans the more American way, which a lot of Canadians use because they've just gotten used to American.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
I still spell color, favorite, and all those other words with a U.
yeah, because it makes more freaking sense. Also, it looks better. Color looks wrong, otherwise. Also makes sense why I didn't even register anything was wrong in that sentence. So do you mean to say, are the stories of Mr. Holmes that are published in the Runts magazine all written by me, yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter? But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Watson.
Susato-san's getting more and more worked up.
Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name is really Watson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true, too. I am a doctor of medicine.
No. At 10 years old?
At 10 years old.
Well, it's quite incredible.
But,
She really is a 28-year-old trapped in a 10-year-old's body.
Dr. Watson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does, yes.
Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world is just falling apart.
Your deductions just now.
Deductions?
Deduction detective.
About before.
Yes, yes. What's on your mind, Runa? Do tell me.
How did you know? That I was a lawyer, and we just arrived from London, I mean.
Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you did it and explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted, although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin.
I have no eyes.
Iris Watson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. First of all, I knew you already thought you were a lawyer, Runa. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that?
I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh,
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted the case against a particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
I'm your uncle, you bitch.
Yes, that's why I can bat you, your family.
The Reaper of the Bailey. Walked right into that one, didn't I?
And then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited a local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you, earlier today? They use those stamps to keep a close eye on coming and goings, you see. I didn't realize. And the red stamp is only used for people visiting a foreign inmates. So, that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilder, the two of you had already Sorry. The two of you already had, the two of you had already had is how my mouth wants to say it, and then there's another had, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like when the same word is, like, right next to each other.
Yeah, but I just want to say the two of you already had cause to visit instead of you two of you had already had.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, to visit a foreign inmate at the local prison. Rude.
Excuse me.
In the middle of my
Still
talking.
tastes like garlic.
What do you think fucking garlic? I don't even know when the last time we had garlic was. That'd be more than a week ago. Something wrong with your stomach. Anyway, however, neither of you was wearing a particular sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or relative. That led me to believe that you two must have accepted a new case.
I see.
But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Shirley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling.
Japanese man. Well, that certainly must have been Mr. Natsume. Luigi!
My line, but
How many times have you done it to me?
yeah, no, but you called me out every time. Now, Bruno, that fancy Japanese sword.
With a headband that no longer flutters.
And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both came from Japan yourselves. So I put two to two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Shirley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts would lead me to. You both came here to ask Shirley about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Shirley's always stabbing his notes with a knife, you see. He is silly. And that's all there is to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Watson, and that has been one of my great deductions.
Basically, it's a welcome to my. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Yeah. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
Even managed to discern something of Mr. Holmes's delivery.
Oh, well, I was just copying Shirley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris, please?
The case of the Japanese man.
Oops, I hit back.
So yesterday, Mr. Holmes apprehended a Japanese man. You were saying?
Yes. Shirley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed on the street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man.
Very not Luigi.
Mr. Natsume? Beyond any, that's you, but, beyond any doubt.
Sosuke-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street. But it seems there were witnesses after all.
Shirley used his great deduction powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police. And what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man shivering in fear.
Mr. Holmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark on that one.
Of course it did. He's the great detective.
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for a trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Shirley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time on investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of workings of the world's greatest justice system.
I suppose it is, but in that case, don't hold out much hope for Sosuke-san. Soseki. His situation. Thank you for answering so many questions, Iris. It's been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Holmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well.
Well, I expect Shirley is investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Natsume? Shirley said he was going to the man's lodgings.
You can't spell nutrition without nut.
These nuts. That is sorry. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they?
Is this our first these nuts jokes and it wasn't actually me who made it?
Yeah. Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there?
Yeah, we know Inspector Gregson.
Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregsy this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this? A bribe, motherfucker!
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems.
Iris's postcard has been entered into the court record.
It reads, tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust you won't. That won't be a problem. Gosh, will this make the inspector help us, will it? I feel like her voice is wrong.
It is a little bit too high.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
I think it's because I've been going back and forth between the two. It's like...
I
Let's see.
offered to help.
She's mine. Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon. We'll be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris.
Bow.
She didn't bow. Well, Mr. Naruto, it's back to the scene of the crime. Next time.
On Dragon Ball Z.
At 4:30. Okay, sorry.
That's fine. This has been Gally.
This is midnight.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye-bye, everybody.